I have decided to separate you from this person in your family because I can no longer allow you to remain chained to a bond that is draining your soul, crushing your spirit, and dimming the light that I placed inside you. And I know this decision may bring tears to your eyes, it may bring confusion to your heart, it may even stir anger within you. But child, listen closely. For every tear you shed I collect, for every ache you feel I witness, and for every broken moment you endure I stand beside you, because you were never meant to live in shadows created by someone who claims to love you but wounds you with their words, their silence, or their actions, and I see how long you have prayed. How many nights you have asked me why this pain came from within your own family, why the very blood that should have been your shelter became your storm, but I tell you now, my beloved, that not every person born in your family is meant to walk with you forever, not every connection of blood is a connection of the soul, and though I gave you family, I also gave you the strength to rise when family becomes the very source of your pain, and so today, I speak with firmness yet with love. I have decided to separate you from this person in your family. I know you are asking in your heart, why now, why at this moment, why after so many years of endurance, of patience, of giving them second chances, of excusing their cruelty, of hoping they would change, but I have watched you give and give until you have nothing left. I have seen you carry the weight of their burdens while they added stones upon your back. I have watched you pray for their healing while they continued to break you down, and though you believed that if you held on long enough the storm would pass, I knew the storm was not outside you but living within the walls of your home, and so I could not let you remain there any longer, because my plan for you is too big to let you waste it in constant suffering. My love for you is too deep to let you be crushed by the very ones who should have lifted you, and my calling over your life is too precious to let it be delayed by chains disguised as family ties. You must understand, child, that separation does not mean I am cruel, it means I am protective, it means I see what you cannot, it means I know the conversation spoken behind your back, I know the envy in their hearts, I know the hidden intentions they carry, I know the way they smile at you yet hope for your downfall in silence, and though you excused it, though you called it misunderstanding, though you tried to cover it with love, I could no longer allow you to be deceived, so I cut the tie myself, because I will never let your destiny be poisoned by those who refuse to honor the light I placed inside you. Yes, it hurts, yes, it feels like loss, yes, it feels like betrayal, but in truth, it is deliverance, because some people must be removed from your journey for you to finally walk in peace. Some ties must be broken for your wings to unfold, some separations are the beginning of your freedom, and though you see emptiness right now, soon you will see my wisdom in this decision, soon you will see that this distance is not punishment but protection, not rejection but redirection, not cruelty but care. I know you wanted to keep them close, I know you thought love would be enough to heal the cracks, I know you told yourself, but they are my family, I cannot let go, yet child, hear me, even family can wound you deeper than strangers, even family can be the ones used by darkness to slow you down. And when family refuses to love you as I commanded, I step in as your true father and I remove what you cannot, because your heart is too tender to cut the rope, but mine is strong enough to do what must be done, and though you do not yet understand, one day you will thank me for pulling you out of the fire. One day you will see that their absence was the very space you needed to breathe again. One day you will realize that the pain you feel now was the birth of the peace you longed for all these years. I have watched your silent suffering, the moments when you smiled in front of others but cried behind closed doors, the nights you turned your face to the pillow so no one would hear your sobs. The mornings you woke with heaviness before the day even began, and I whispered, "Hold on, my child, I am coming," and now I am here, not with empty words but with action, not with vague promises but with change, not with delay but with decision, and my decision is final. I will not allow you to keep drinking poison just because it is poured by family hands. I will not allow you to keep bleeding in silence just because you fear loneliness. I will not allow you to remain chained to cycles that destroy the very soul I gave you. So I have decided, yes, I have decided to separate you from this person in your family. And though you may resist, though you may plead, though you may ask me to restore what was broken, I tell you that restoration is not always my plan. Sometimes removal is my mercy, sometimes distance is my healing, sometimes goodbye is my greatest gift to you, and if you trust me, if you lean not on your own understanding but on mine, you will see that what I removed was never meant to carry you forward, that what I separated was never aligned with your destiny, and that what you called loss I will turn into gain. What you called pain I will turn into strength, what you called the end I will transform into a beginning far greater than you imagined. So, do not fear, my child, for you are not alone in this separation. I am walking with you, I am comforting you, I am filling the emptiness with my presence. I am replacing what you lost with what you truly need, and though it feels like your heart is breaking, I am the healer of broken hearts. Though it feels like your family is shrinking, I am enlarging your spiritual family with people who will love you truthfully. Though it feels like you are losing stability, I am your foundation that can never be shaken, and you will rise. Yes, you will rise from this moment stronger, freer, lighter, and finally able to walk into the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. And I know right now your mind is filled with questions. You are asking yourself if maybe you could have done more, if maybe you could have spoken differently, if maybe you could have held on tighter. But child, stop blaming yourself, because you carried far more than what was required of you. You bent until you nearly broke. You forgave when others would have turned away. You prayed when others would have cursed. You stayed when others would have left. And yet no matter how much love you gave, it was never enough to change a heart that was never willing to change. And so I had to take this step because I do not want you to spend the rest of your life drowning in guilt for something that was never your fault. I do not want you to waste your days waiting for apologies that will never come. I do not want you to pour your strength into a cup that has no bottom, because I made you for more than endless heartbreak. I made you for more than endless waiting. I made you for joy, for peace, for love that lifts and heals, not for love that wounds and destroys. Yes, they carry your blood, yes, they share your name. But I am showing you that family is not always defined by flesh and bone. True family is defined by love, by respect, by truth, and if those are absent then the bond becomes chains, and I do not want you in chains any longer. I want you free, I want you whole, I want you walking in the fullness of who you are. And sometimes freedom requires separation, sometimes healing requires distance, sometimes protection requires removal, and so I acted not to harm you but to rescue you. I hear your heart whispering, but I love them, I don't want to lose them, and I answer, child, that love was never the problem, your love was pure. But love must flow in both directions. Love must not constantly crush one while feeding the other. Love must not silence your soul just to keep someone else comfortable. And when love becomes abuse, when love becomes manipulation, when love becomes control, then what you are holding is not love at all but a distortion of it. And that is why I could not allow it to continue. Because I created you to experience real love, the kind that heals and strengthens, the kind that builds and protects, the kind that reflects my own heart, and that is the love I am bringing into your life once this door closes. Do not be surprised if the world does not understand. Do not be shaken when others ask you why you walked away, why you allowed distance, why you accepted this separation. Because they did not see the nights you cried, they did not hear the words that pierced your soul. They did not witness the silent wounds that were inflicted again and again, they only saw the mask, they only saw the outer image. But I saw behind the veil, I saw the truth, and I decided that enough was enough. So even if others do not understand, trust that I understand, and trust that my decision is always for your good. It may feel like betrayal, but I promise you it is actually deliverance. It may feel like abandonment, but I promise you it is actually protection. It may feel like an ending, but I promise you it is actually the start of a beautiful new chapter. And one day you will see clearly that the very thing you are crying over today is the very thing you will thank me for tomorrow, because in their absence I will send presence, in their silence I will send voices that uplift, in their rejection I will send arms that embrace, in their cruelty I will send kindness, in their tearing down I will send builders. And you will know that I am faithful to restore what is lost with something far greater. And child, listen, separation is not always forever. Sometimes I separate to heal, sometimes I separate to protect until the right time, sometimes I separate so both hearts can face the truth, but whether or not they return is not your burden to carry, it is mine, because you cannot force a heart to change. You cannot force love where it does not want to grow, you cannot force peace where pride refuses to bow, and so I lift that burden from your shoulders and I place it in my hands, because you were never meant to fix everything, you were meant to trust me with what you cannot fix, so walk forward with courage. Walk forward with faith, walk forward even with trembling steps, because every step away from the pain is a step closer to the peace I have prepared for you. Every door that closes is a doorway to something better, every goodbye is an opening for new beginnings, and though it does not feel like it now, I am rewriting your story. I am cleansing your path. I am placing you in a position where joy will no longer be stolen, where peace will no longer be temporary, where love will no longer wound, and where your soul will finally breathe without fear. Child, I want you to hear me clearly. I have not abandoned you. I have not punished you. I have not taken away to leave you empty. I have only removed what was hurting you so I can give you what will heal you. I have only separated you from destruction so I can lead you into restoration. I have only pulled you out of darkness so I can place you in light, and though the process is painful, the promise is certain. You will not remain in sorrow, you will not remain in emptiness, you will not remain in mourning, for joy is coming, peace is coming, new love is coming. And you will testify one day that this separation was the moment your life truly began again, and I know right now your soul is heavy. Because the person I separated you from is not a stranger on the street, but someone you thought would walk beside you for life, someone whose voice was familiar, whose presence was part of your daily existence. And now the silence feels louder than the noise once was, now the distance feels colder than the closeness once seemed. But child, let me remind you that sometimes closeness is only an illusion, sometimes what appears as family is in truth a prison, sometimes what looks like love is only manipulation in disguise, and I could not let you live in that cage any longer. I could not let your wings remain clipped by hands that pretended to hold you in love but actually kept you bound in fear, in guilt, in shame, in obligation, and so yes, I stepped in and drew the line you were afraid to draw. I placed the boundary you felt too weak to enforce. I made the separation you knew deep down was needed but could not bear to do. And though it hurts, it is the pain that leads to healing, it is the loss that opens to gain, it is the emptiness that makes room for fullness. I saw how often you silenced your own heart just to avoid conflict. How many times you held back your truth just to keep the peace, how many times you endured disrespect just to preserve the relationship, and I whispered into your spirit, this is not the love I created you for, this is not the bond one wanted for you, but you hoped, you prayed, you waited, believing they would change, believing they would one day see your heart. Believing they would one day love you as deeply as you loved them. And when that day never came, you began to believe that maybe something was wrong with you. Maybe you were unworthy of true love, maybe you were too much or not enough, but child, hear me clearly, there is nothing wrong with you, it was never your fault, it was never your failure. It was never your weakness, it was simply that their heart was not aligned with mine, their intentions were not pure, their spirit was not ready to walk with yours, and so I had to break the tie to preserve the destiny I placed within you. I know you are grieving, because grief does not only come when someone dies, grief also comes when someone you love is removed from your life, grief comes when the familiar is stripped away, grief comes when you have to accept that the person you thought would stand with you has instead been taken from your side. And I see every tear, I feel every ache, I hear every sigh, and I am near to you in this grief, I am wrapping you in my presence, I am whispering into your brokenness that you are not abandoned, I am holding your heart in my hands, and I will not let you collapse beneath the weight of this pain. For what feels like the end is actually a beginning, what feels like destruction is actually construction, what feels like death is actually birth, and I am birthing something new within you, something stronger, something freer, something more beautiful than what you lost, and though you cannot yet see it, you will. One day you will wake and realize that the tears have stopped falling. One day you will look back and realize the heaviness is gone. One day you will see that what I removed was the very thing that stood between you and your peace, between you and your joy, between you and your future, and you will thank me. You will lift your hands and say, "Now I understand, Lord, why you separated me. Now I see your love in what felt like loss. Now I see your wisdom in what felt like pain, and your heart will be at rest again." Until then, trust me, child, trust that I know what I am doing, trust that my hand is upon your life, trust that my separation is not cruelty but care, not abandonment but alignment, not rejection but redirection, and though you walk through the valley now, I am the light that guides you to the mountain. And though you feel alone, you are surrounded by my presence, and though you feel empty, I will fill you with more than you ever had before, for I am your Father, and I never take without giving, I never close without opening, I never end without beginning, and I never allow pain unless I am preparing to transform it into purpose. And now, child, as you sit in the quiet of this moment, wondering why the road ahead feels uncertain and why the memories behind you still echo in your mind, I need you to know that what I removed was never meant to stay, what I separated was never meant to grow with you, because some branches in your tree of life look alive on the outside but are dead within, and if they are not cut away they infect the whole tree. And I will not allow your roots to rot because of one broken branch, so I cut it for you. I separated you before it destroyed the beauty I planted in you, and though it feels harsh, it was the greatest act of mercy I could give. You see, you prayed for strength, you asked me for guidance. You begged me to heal what was broken, and I listened. I did not ignore your prayers, but sometimes the answer is not to repair what is beyond repair. Sometimes the answer is to release you from it, and I answered your prayer by giving you freedom, though freedom often comes wrapped in pain, and you cannot yet see it as an answer, but one day you will. I want you to stop asking yourself if they ever truly loved you. Stop torturing your heart with questions of, "Why did they do this to me?" Because the truth is that broken people break others, hurt people hurt others, and though their actions wounded you, it was never a reflection of your worth, it was only a reflection of their emptiness. And I refuse to let their emptiness drain you any longer. I refuse to let their bitterness poison your spirit. I refuse to let their darkness cover your light, so I separated you for your protection. You will see soon that in the space where they once stood, I will bring new voices, voices that affirm you instead of belittle you. I will bring new arms that hold instead of strike. I will bring new hearts that give instead of only take, and you will know what love feels like without pain woven into it. Do not cling to what I have removed, do not run back to what I have ended, because when I close a door, child, it is because there is something on the other side that you cannot yet see. Something greater, something safer, something better, and if you turn back you will only wound yourself again. I know loyalty runs deep in you. I know family ties feel unbreakable to you. I know you would have carried them forever if I had let you, but your loyalty cannot save someone who refuses to change. Your heart cannot carry someone who chooses not to walk in truth. Your love cannot heal someone who thrives on your pain, and that is why I had to step in. You gave them every chance, you showed them every grace, you forgave them countless times, and yet the cycle continued, so I stopped it for you, because I will not allow your future to be consumed by repeating yesterday's pain. This separation is not weakness, it is strength. It is not loss, it is deliverance. It is not punishment, it is my plan to make you whole, and I need you to trust me even as you cry, to trust me even as you ache, to trust me even as you do not understand, because I see the ending from the beginning, and I know exactly where this road is leading you, to peace, to freedom, to a new chapter where your soul is finally safe. Hold on, child, because though it feels like your world has collapsed, it is actually being rebuilt on a stronger foundation. Though it feels like your family has been broken, I am giving you a spiritual family who will walk beside you in truth, though it feels like love has been lost. I am preparing love that will restore every broken piece of your heart, and the day will come when you will smile again without pretending, when you will breathe again without heaviness, when you will live again without fear, and you will know that the separation that hurt you was the very act that saved you. And child, as we come to the end of this moment of truth, I want you to breathe deeply and understand that every tear that has fallen from your eyes has watered the soil of your future. Every ache that has torn at your heart has carved space for new joy to enter. Every loss that you feel so heavy now has made room for blessings you could not have carried while burdened by what I just removed. And though it feels as though I have taken from you, I have truly only cleared your path so that what belongs to you can finally reach you. You have carried pain in silence for too long, you have endured storms you did not speak of, you have sacrificed parts of yourself just to keep peace with someone who never valued the peace you gave. But I say to you now that those days are behind you, that the weight has been lifted, that the chains have been broken, that the silence that tormented you has been replaced by my voice, and my voice says that you are free, you are loved, you are chosen, and you are protected. I have separated you because destiny is calling you higher, because your heart was never created to live trapped in cycles of suffering. Because the journey ahead requires you to walk unbound, and though it hurts now, I promise you the day will come when you look back with clarity and say, "Thank you, Lord, for saving me from what I could not save myself from." Do not grieve as though you are empty, for I am filling you even now. Do not mourn as though you are abandoned, for I am closer to you now than ever. Do not despair as though life has ended, for life is only just beginning, and everything you thought you lost I will return to you multiplied in ways you cannot imagine. Love will find you, peace will rest upon you, joy will grow within you, and purpose will carry you, and the very wound that feels unbearable today will become the testimony that heals others tomorrow. You will stand strong again, you will smile without pretending again, you will breathe without heaviness again, and you will know without a doubt that my hand was upon you, guiding you, protecting you, separating you not to destroy but to deliver, not to punish but to preserve, not to harm but to heal. And so now, lift your head, my child, even with tears still in your eyes, because I am not finished with you, I am only just beginning, and the best chapters of your life are still waiting ahead of you. Trust me, lean on me, walk with me, and you will see that this separation was not the end of your story but the very turning point where everything begins to change for the better, for I have decided to separate you from this person in your family. And in that separation I have given you freedom, I have given you protection,